Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King. And today I'm going to be giving you part 5 of What If Godlike Naruto Was, Awaken by Kushina. Remember to get this one to 100 like as usual, share this to all of your friends in your social media platform, and also guys, go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto Was a Genius Experimenter over on Anime King 3, and enjoy that guys. And also over in Making 2, I post a brand new episode of What If Naruto was recreated by the Shinigami. So go ahead, check out that and enjoy guys. And remember, for anyone this first time hear my voice, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become part of the Making family. And thank you for all of your help and support. Remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new. I'll be replying talking back to all of you. So yeah, without much further ado, what do you say we jump right into this new episode? Begin the intro, guys. So, the last time we left off, Kenshin was thinking about all the new developments that were made within Uzu. All the new programs that were put in place to make sure that what happened would never happen again. As things were built up to a degree where no one could get past security no matter how hard they try right now, as he had made sure of that. So with that, he and the others had come together. Before he could go about the different plans, someone was here. Snazzy had used a ship to get here. A vessel which was destroyed upon arriving because of the new securities in place. She had been badly ravaged as well, as she did not belong here, so the system attacked her. Luckily though, because of her healing ability, she was somehow able to live, but she was in no state to fight. And she was on the verge of, well, losing her life by sinking to the bottom, if it wasn't for the other shinobis. After she told him who she was. It was then that Snazzy gave him a scroll. Looking the man's eyes as he read the scroll, Snazzy was afraid. As it was Mito telling him about what happened, what Konoha did, and about the masked man that probed her mind. He was downright furious. He told his envoys to take Snazzy away until he think about what to do with her. He then summoned his council. He told them that he was going to bring back the fear of the Uzumaki into the hearts of the entire elemental nation. Konoha had trifled with them. Konoha had killed one of their elders. Konoha was on its last straw, and there was no more to be given. He was done with Konoha. The elders were in full agreement. After what that village did, they deserved to suffer. While that was going on, Naruto and Kushina were making their way. Kushina was getting stronger, she knew that, as she could tell from all the training that Naruto has given her. Her ability to move on faster. But one thing though that she had not done yet, she hadn't killed anyone. That was a given that life that she grew up in was not one of hardship. But the thing was, Naruto told her that she would have to kill eventually. That was how the world was set. They made their way where Naruto felt the most power coming from. On top of the mountain, the priestess was trying to seal away the demon, but it was a trick. She was tricked in here by a guy known as Yomi, as they came to blows. But he had children locked up in cages over the lava. He threatened to kill them if she did not surrender, as she got captured. But Naruto arrived as he told Kushina to take down the ones at the top. It was then that she made her first kill. She knew that she had to steel herself as she fought, taking them down. As Naruto went down there to take on this new guy, he knew who he was. The man was suppressing Naruto. The reason why he was alive was because Moro, the demon, kept him alive. The demon Moro also knew Naruto because Naruto was the one that trapped him here. He was a soul that tried to gain power to take over the human world. Naruto had trapped him in here. He then proceeded to take over the man's body, as Moro and Naruto fought. The body was not strong enough because Naruto broke it. Kushina came down as she was attacked. She was almost killed. Naruto told her to run as the children were dropped in lava, as there was no point of saving this entire mountain anymore. As Naruto told her to run, she rushed out of there. The priestess was already gone, protected by her guards. As blue flames started to skyrocket off Naruto, the place started to melt, the air itself started to get hot. As Naruto was downright furious, he just tried to kill Kushina. Moro transformed after Naruto ripped apart the body that he was in, as he turned to the massive black serpent, wings in his back as he broke the entire mountain as he flew above, for a more roomier fight in the ground. As Naruto skyrocketed into the heavens, as he stood in front of the beast to face off against him, the priestess and Kushina and others were shocked at the mere magnitude and heat that Naruto was generating from this distance, as they were sweating as they could not comprehend how could someone possess such power. The priestess was at a complete loss, as she didn't quite understand. If he was truly a Oda, that means... But still, the power that he possessed was nothing normal. It wasn't like he wasn't even human. It was like he was some sort of god. So yeah guys, basically that's what I thought. You guys can switch across the play, check out for yourself, and also remember to go ahead and check out the other what ifs over in Anime King 2 and Anime King 3. Yes, I indeed have 3 channels that I post such fun every single day for you guys to enjoy. So yeah, without further ado, what do you say we jump right into this new episode? Begin this new episode now. It's him! Moro has returned! The guards shouted, as many of them were brought to their knees at the terrifying sight of the demon of the legends. Yushin could only look up at the goal that her and her ancestors has worked hard over for years to keep locked away. But now the demon was freed, as she felt goosebumps running up her skin, as she felt the full capacity of his power. But then it was when she felt it, another source that was pushing high. Moro shot up in the sky as a bright blue light lit out of the lava and stopped in front of the demon. The blue light was intense, as Kushina squinted her eyes. A smile came to her face. It was him. Her sensei was perfectly fine. Sensei, she said, as Yushin heard her. Child, did you just say that man's your sensei? She asked. Kushina gave a nod, as she wondered how he was standing on the air like that. It was so cool. He sure is. He's my awesome, powerful sensei. And this demon is going to stand no chance against him. He's going to tear him a new one. Believe it. As she pumped her fist in the air, the priestess' sweat dropped at Kushina's eccentric attitude. But she glanced up to wonder how this was going to end. A distance away, unknown to them, an apparition was watching the whole battle. As he stood a distance away. Interesting, he said, as his eyes focused on Naruto. Meanwhile, with Naruto, as Moro narrowed his eyes towards Naruto, as Naruto's body was covered in those cold, blue flames, his eyes looking directly into the demon's eyes, Moro decided to attack first. Thousands of tentacles shot out of the demon's body as they tried to pierce and skewer Naruto. Naruto remained calm as he did not move a muscle as they got within 5 feet. Moro then realized he was underestimating the heat that the blue flames were giving off. When they got in close, they caught on flames. His tentacles started to burn. Howling in pain, he roared and flipped his tentacles back as he tried to snuff them out, but they wouldn't go away. As Naruto appeared behind one of the heads, bringing his blade down, slice. The head was cut clean off as blue flames started to burn the stump. Moro flew back as he opened his last remaining mouth, as they started to gather red and green orbs. Eat this! Shibari, he said, as they shot towards Naruto. Naruto raised his hand. Heito, number 73. Sato, Surenki, said Naruto. His blue flames circled into his palm, into a single tiny ball. As the two beams came towards him, Naruto held out that ball before it blasted off. Morio's eyes went wide when the blue ball literally shredded through his two attacks, dissipating them, and it kept on coming towards him. The attack hit him head on. His body was blown through the sky. as he howled out in rage and pain. His left wing was completely gone into ash, while his right wing was burned badly, as he scowled in rage. Damn you! Damn you to hell, he cursed at Naruto. Naruto vanished. The demon felt his other wing being grabbed as he looked behind to see. Naruto's eyes looking directly into his, as Naruto tore the other wing off with his bare hands, before he slashed another head off. His flames cauterizing the wound rather instantly. He then grabbed hold of Moro's last head, before he yanked him, as both of them were plummeting towards the ground. I told you I was gonna make you suffer, and I damn well meant it. Boom! The drone exploded as Moro's body hit it with tremendous force. When the smoke cleared, Naruto was gripping the demon's neck in a vice grip as he started to twist. Where did you get such power? No mortal, not even an Oda should have so much power. What are you? It screamed as Naruto looked directly in his eyes. I am death. As he ripped Moro's last head off, tossing to his side before he plunged his hand right into him. He then ripped out a strange, purplish orb as Naruto's eyes shift to a bright gold. And your predator, he said as he opened his mouth. The soul started to break apart as it steamed into Naruto's mouth. His essence started to be swallowed by Naruto as he let the soul steam into him before it vanished. Moro's body then started to rot away, leaving only bones. As Naruto got to his feet, his gold eyes returning back to their natural blue eyes. Sensei! Kushina slammed into his side, holding on to him tight. He patted her on the head. He glanced up when he saw the priestess and her guards approaching him. The guards were not sure that he was even human, as Yoshina looked towards him with disbelief, as she looked towards the remains of Moro, as she gave him a heartwarming smile. She kneeled down and bowed her head to the ground. Thank you so much, she said. Yoshina-sama, don't bow your head like this. It's shameful for a priestess of your stature to do such a thing like this, her guards said, but she gave them a glare, making them flinch. If you morons haven't noticed, this man just killed the great demon of legends, Moro. And you're being disrespectful by not bowing to him. To show your respect, if I don't see you idiots on your knees bowing in the next 5 seconds, I swear to Kami I will crush what makes you a man. Now kneel, she said, as they all bowed their head rather quickly. Naruto glanced down towards her. Stand, priestess, he said. If I may, could I request for a simple lodging for me and my companion here? I am sure this ordeal was quite tiring for her. As you can see, as Yoshin noticed that the girl was asleep, still clutching onto his side, as she gave a gracious nod. Of course, she said. Time skip. Later that night. So you were the one that started all of this. You were the ancient warrior that sealed Moro all those years ago. You were the one that had my ancestors keep watch over this land, in case Moro was to ever set free. I admit it's hard to believe that you're the same man, since that was done so long ago. But after what I've seen, I'm inclined to believe you, Otadano, she said, as she took a sip of her tea. She and Naruto sitting there rather calmly, at the back part of her home. She glanced towards the blonde who took a sip of his tea. True, that is how it is. But I did not think the priestess I left would come to rely on decadent advisors as the years passed. I made them in charge, not people who know nothing about keeping a demon locked away. She sighed. It started around the mid-time of my family's timeline. My great-great-grandfather saw it fit to give advisors some power, a voice, of the village concerned. But as the time passed on, they grew in more power until they became more powerful than the priests themselves. It only became worse when my father had me, as they thought they could manipulate me because I'm a woman. It is the most troubling situation I'm in with them, trying to push for my own daughter to follow in my footsteps. I see. Then rip them out. It is as simple as that. Do not forget, priestess, you are the leader here. And what you say goes. And what you do with your offspring is up to you, and you alone. They have no say in this matter because they were not placed there by my instructions. So you can simply rip them out like a bad root. But that is just my advice for you. As Yoshina gazed towards him for the longest moments, before she gazed back down towards her tea, a small smile coming on her face. Perhaps you're right, Oda Dano, she said. Maybe I just been stuck doing my duty. That it left me blind to what I can actually do here. I'll deal with them when it comes to that. But perhaps you can help me with something. As Naruto raised the eyebrow. Yes, he could already see. After taking a look at the village, it did look a bit run down for repair. And not to mention, the location was not safe at all. They were basically out in the open. As you can see, my village is in trouble. We are critically low on supplies due to Moro's influence, killing our crops. We are prone to attacks from bandits and mutinies from other countries. And my men simply don't have the manpower or skill to deal with Masonins. So I would like to ask if there's any way that you can help us. I know that you have done so much already, but right now we're on the edge of surviving, she said. As Naruto seemed to think it over. I could probably speak with the leader of Uza to see if he will form an alliance with you, to take you in if need be. The man is benevolent, to say at least, and he would aid you if need be. But it may require you to be in some diplomatic incursions he might have in the future. You will need to swear your country aid to Uza, he said. No worries then, she said with a smile. Onai no Kuni became my family country after the last daimyo died, and he had no one to take his seat, so it was given to my family as the highest power of influence in this country. So it would be easy enough to accomplish that, she said. Very well, I will speak to Kenshin when Kushina and I return. This brought up another matter. When do you think you're leaving, she asked. Tomorrow morning, but first I must go and find something. The main reason why I came here in the first place. She raised the eyebrow, but he spoke no more on the subject. As she see that he didn't want to, so she leave it be. Very well, I will see you two off before you do then. It will be disrespectful of me not to. As Naruto placed the cup down and got to his feet. The tea was delicious, he said, but I must be off. Thank you, priestess. But she held his hand. Please, just call me Yoshina, she said. As her cheeks were pink, she felt embarrassed at herself for blushing like she was, but she was incredibly grateful for the blonde. Call me Naruto then, Yoshina-san, he said. Now have a pleasant night, he said. She watched as he walked off, thanking for what the man had done for her, and unknowingly for her daughter as well. Thank you, Naruto-san, she thought. Time skip as Naruto stood on top of the mountain. With Moro not in the way, he could feel the presence of a second tablet. With that, he started to dive back down into the mountain. As the lava was cooling, nearly half an hour he was down in the chamber that him and Moro first fought in. But because of all the rocks, there was only a small light peering down. He closed his eyes as his spiritual energy spread out of his body. Before he caught on to something, he found it. Walking over to the wall, he found his clan symbol, etched into the wall. He placed his hand on said wall and pushed his spiritual energy into it. A series of locks went off before the wall pushed inside before opening up. He held up his palm as a flame flicked inside as he started to walk. After about a 30-minute walk, he finally reached his target. The second tablet was there, but there was also a letter as well. He walked up towards it. As he read the tablet, Naruto Dano, if you're reading this, and if there's a letter bag still on the podium, that means the traitor has yet to find this place. For that I am glad, because I have left here the only thing that can possibly stop him. As promised, I hid the item, but I had to split it into pieces. However, I left the main jewel here as the Oda clan pride and honor. The other pieces are left at where the other tablets are. That is if the traitor hasn't found some of them yet. Forgive me, times has not been pleasant for us. Some of us has been killed off by the traitor comrades, and he's still hunting us. I have already lost my wife and child, Naruto Dano, but these nomads are traveling the land and keeping us out of harm's way. Whether we're deep in ties, we're becoming integrated with them. I hear even some of our owners start to mix with the nomadic women, so there's hope for our clan for the future, that we still live on. I digress. I pray that you found the rest of the pieces, and fulfill what your father, and father, and all those that came before them could not. Achieve the right as ascendant, as clan head, and become what we know you will become, and the man your father truly believed will surpass him. This is all I can say for now, old friend. I will speak with you next time. Kisuk, Oda clan ambassador to the nomads, Uzumaki clan. As Naruto pulled his fingers off the tablet, the text all disappeared, so no one could ever find, despite not reading it. It would just look like a hunk of rock to them. He turned towards the letter bag. As he opened it up, It was a small necklace. The weave that made the necklace was a mixture of different color, red, white, and gold, and blue. But it was a gem on it. It still amazed me that you had the power to split this into pieces, he said. You are surely a man of intelligence that cannot be rivaled, but I know I must complete this to achieve the right of ascendance. Not only for myself, but for my father and my clan, said Naruto, as he placed the necklace around his neck. Time skip. Kushina was starting to worry. And considering that she and her sensei had been through a lot the day before, she believed that they deserved some kind of break. However, that was not to be. It has been a day since they left the village and said goodbye to the priestess and the others. As they were going back home, the thought of returning home brought a smile to her face. To see her old family again after this whole ordeal. Still, she was cherishing every moment that she had with Naruto. The training, everything, and the words on her first kill as well. After taking her first kill, she understood what his words meant. She understood what he meant. To survive in this world, you must be able to harden your resolve and strike down your enemies. The event with Moro was eye-opening for her, as she knew that there was much more. Not just shinobis and samurais, there was a lot in the world. There were demons, spirits, that dwelled out in the world, as she wondered how much were they? How strong were they? Will they become a threat to her home in the future? This was just a few of the thoughts that she had, but she was grateful for Naruto bringing her along, because before coming here she was not as strong as she is right now, as she felt both physically and also mentally strong. But since leaving the village, she has been growing worried. Lately, she was able to read the blonde on some level, but now, his face was completely cold and distant. The air around him was becoming more tense as the day passed on. Whether he knew it or not, it was taking a huge effect on her, as she could feel that something was wrong with her sensei. But for the life of her, she just couldn't figure out what. Unknown to the redhead, Naruto was thinking about other matters, which revolve around one thing, or better yet, someone. Naruto had sensed it the moment him and Kushina left Yoshina's village, a presence that was stalking them from the shadows. This thing, whatever it was utilizing a source of energy that only he was able to wield. They were hiding themselves in a cloak that made them intangible to the trained eye, but Naruto knew it all too well. Ryoku, whoever was following them, was using spiritual energy in the technique that only his clan was capable of doing. Not only that, when he reached out with his senses to reach whatever this thing was, he had to push down his instincts to wipe it away. If he gave in to his urge, he might end up hurting or killing Kushina because his flames were not easy to control, not even to him. But this signature, he knew it all too well. It was the same signature of him. The thought of the man's name alone made his blood boil, as he had to keep his mind calm so his power would not just go chaotic and lash out at everything around him. As he wondered why that traitor would dare to seek him out, when he knew that he would have snapped his body in half, right on the spot, without a shred of mercy. That man was as sly as a snake. If he knew he was alive, he would not come for him, so that meant something was definitely wrong. As him and Kushina reached a clearing, as he jumped over a tree log, as he tapped his hand on said tree, Rikudo, number 61, his finger grew yellow. As he placed on the tree, as he leaped over, a small engraved seal was formed in the bark of the tree. As he walked with her, and then he felt his seal get triggered and capture his target, he saw a town in the distance. As he paused, Kushina, I want you to keep going ahead. There's a town not too far ahead, and we can use that time to rest before heading back to Uzo. Just meet me at the gates. I need to check on something, alright? A bit taken aback that he wanted to stop, seeing that he never stopped while coming here. But she also wanted to rest after the whole fact with Moro. She nodded with a smile. Alright, sensei, but don't take too long, she said, as she tried to act stern and tough, but it only made her look cute in his opinion. Once she was gone, Naruto's face turned colder than ice as he vanished. Obake gave a slight curse and praise in the ingenuity of the trap. It was his fault though for not sensing it and moving away in time. 6 golden beams of light were stabbed into his stomach. It was an unpleasant feeling. It was packed with enough spiritual power it was impossible for him to break. It was then that he felt it as he glanced up, those cold blue eyes looking down towards him. Ah, it seems I'm caught, Obake said, as Naruto stepped off the tree, landing right in front of him. The envoy tried to keep a stern face, but when he felt, just from the man's gaze, he knew this entity was powerful. Those eyes, Master was right. This is not the eyes of a man, but of something much more dangerous, he thought to himself, as Naruto looked through the eye holes of his Anvo mask, right into his very soul. What Obey did not know was, due to his long sleep, Naruto developed the ability to see into the heart and soul of anyone that he chose. It was something he came across in his eternal sleep, as he could tell the differences between anyone and anything, just by a mere glance. And when he looked at this man, he could feel a few things. The energy that this man gave off was similar to the Traitor's, but it was less empowered, and also more subdued. Ryoko was spiritual essence for itself, as anyone that practiced could push it and twist it to their own imagination. However, everyone had their own signature. Despite what you were animal or human, it would still flow with life. However, this man knew this thing. It felt dead, like it had no soul, and yet it spoke to him, like it had one. You are not the man I aim to kill yet. You feel just like him. Yet at the same time you are not amongst the living. You are a hollow shell. Not a human. Tell me, Abomination. What are you? Or better yet, who sent you? It was then that he saw his eyes twitch, as he knew right there and then, this thing was connected to that traitor. You're far more perceptive than he first described you as, but I'm afraid I can't allow myself to be killed by you just yet, Oda-sama. I have yet to fulfill my master desires. Naruto plunged his hand into his chest, but the man's body became intangible within a second, as Obey simply floated out of the Kido spell, causing it to vanish. Its body became tangible a few feet away from Naruto. Even with my ability, I know that you can still kill me. So, for my survival, I will give you some crucial detail revolving around your companion, Kushina Uzumaki. Naruto was just about to tear him apart until he heard that. The thought of Kushina being in danger, it angered him. She had become a part of his life since he awoken. Plus, he saw some of himself inside of her, the way she took her training on. Still, this was personal. His life goal is ambition. To avenge his clan that was betrayed and slaughtered by one of their own, and this thing was connected to it. As Obey stood there, this was the same man that was reporting to Hiruzen. This was the same man that had ripped the information out of Mito's mind. But Naruto did not know any of that. But yet, it seems like while reporting to Hiruzen, it was not a man behind that mask. As Naruto was going through a dilemma at the moment, his life goal, his ambition was to find that traitor. And sometime he thought about just setting the entire continent on fire, to eradicate every single thing, to make him come out in the open, even if he slaughtered every single person. That would just be another sin onto his other wrathful, dangerous sins that he committed throughout his life already. As Naruto vanished and placed a hand on his shoulder, plunging his thumb into his shoulder, Obey tried to become intangible, but black markings spread from Naruto's finger and spread over his body. He winced in pain as he tried. Do not try to worm your way out. No one can escape the touch of death, not even a creature like yourself. So tell me, what is stopping me from just extracting the information from your cold dead corpse? What is this vile energy? Obey said. He never knew what fear was because he was not designed. He was not created to feel fear. But with the way his master spoke of this man, he always kept cautious, even since following him. But he messed up and now he was caught. And now, as he felt the grasp on his shoulder, he felt the cold touch of death, and his body felt cold. Was this? His hand was trembling. He felt fear. He was afraid, but he had to keep his composure. Because if you extract my soul, I will die, and all of the information I carry will be destroyed with a seal that I have implemented in every Konoha Anvu. Mine in particular erased my brain completely. So even if you kill me, you will get nothing in return, unless you take the other part of the deal. Naruto's finger tore through his armor and started to tear into his clothing. As Naruto was debating whether or not it was a lie, but he knew that today's military faction took every precaution to keep secret away from others, especially the other nations in the village. But the thought of gaining information on the traitor was almost pushing him to his limits and the end of his patience. He could be a very patient man, but not when it came to the traitor. Naruto, don't kill him. It may seem like a loss right now, but keep in mind, he's associated with Konoha. No matter how unnatural his signature is, you know it now, and you can find him. That will be simple. What is more important right now is this information that he has on Kushina. But he's the only connection I have to that betrayer, said Naruto, as he thought whether to kill the man or not. Tell me, is that information that can be destroyed before you possibly get it more important than the information of endangering your precious only student, the life of your only apprentice? Your father taught you better than that, and you know all too well the closeness that a apprentice and an Oda has between master and student. Are you willing to forsake your own clan tradition for your revenge? His inner tenant growled out to him. As Naruto scowled, but he knew the words were true. The apprenticeship between master and student for the Oda clan was sacred. It was an unbreakable bond between one another. It was something that was closer than a parent and child, and no amount of tampering could break that bond. While not officially being his apprentice, Kushina had become his student since he started training since the trip began. He had yet to give it any true thought because the changes that come with being his apprentice were far too big for her to handle. Still, he was doing all of this for his clan, and he was about to forsake his own clan to uphold his traditions. Naruto could be described as a monster, a demon, the devil itself, but he would not break his clan laws. Fine. Obe's feet had sunk into the ground as Naruto had been pushing him down while holding on to him. As Naruto's finger removed from him, the blackness vanishing, but Obe could still not move. Very well, you will live if you provide me the information that you possess, all of it, and not a single detail out. And keep in mind, I will know if you're lying to me. And if you are, I will not hesitate to torture you until you beg to be eaten by the Shinigami. So, speak. Now! He snapped at him. Very well. The information I have is regarding to the third Hokage of Konoha. His name is Sarutobi Hiruzen. He's actively seeking out Kushina Uzumaki due to her status as the Kyuubi Jinchuriki, as well as the successor of Mito Uzumaki, the first Jinchuriki of the Kyuubi. He's made attempts to capture Kushina during the war between the three villages of Kumo, the Stone, and Kiri. However, when the unknown anomaly arrived in the war, meaning you, he has made you his target to determine whether or not you are a threat to his plans and the war. So that battle back then, with those children, Naruto said, speaking of the Kages, when they said old monkey, they must have been talking about this Sarutobi. I see. And you are the first one that he sent to search for me. The masked man nodded. Yes, he sent me to scout you out. But my loyalty to the Hokage is non-existence. He's just a means to an end. Where your loyalties lie do not concern me. The fact that you're still alive is because of my mercy, said Naruto. I know for a fact that you're connected with the man I'm hunting, but you hold no importance to me. The only thing I want to know from you is those that secret Kushina. I understand, but keep in mind, when I return, he will send more. He's very adamant to have Kushina in Konoha ranks. The numbers will grow, and he has an indefinite amount of assassins and shinobis at his disposal. So fending off a small army seemed like it would be a possibility in the future. As Naruto didn't seem to really care. That's of no concern. Is there anything else that you have to say? As Obe shook his head, as Naruto hand released him, he stepped away as Naruto instantly felt a change in his persona. Before I go, my master said that he can't wait to see you, and to see what you will do with this world. Mao-san. As Naruto heard that, and the man saying Mao-san, all control left Naruto immediately. Naruto pulled his katana, but at the last moment he withhold some of the force, knowing that he might level this entire place. And Kushina was down there. As he swiped, a crescent blade of wind instead of fire came out. Obe quickly made himself intangible, as the attack sliced through countless trees and slashed into the mountain the far distance before it dissipated itself. Obe wastes no time as he vanished. As Naruto's eyes, the white, turned black, his pupils started to glow gold. You will die, I swear it. I will hunt you down to the end of this earth, and only then will I tear out your entrails and consume your soul myself. As Naruto's body started to give off a black aura, his skin started to turn pale, his nails started to lengthen. He looked at himself, looking quite upset. What is this? I thought I had this under control. I must keep myself calm, otherwise things will become quite problematic. The orb on his neck started to hum, and his tenant, that was always speaking to him, narrowed his gaze as he felt it. Sheathing his blade, Naruto calmed himself. The pressure around him started to return back to normal. His eyes also returned back normal as well. As Naruto was sure for one thing, next time he saw Obik, he would not survive. No one was allowed to survive with the knowledge of knowing his other name. Time skip with Kushina, she was wondering where Naruto was. As she saw the people passing by, she asked a few. It turns out that it was their annual festival. A time of celebration for the locals and also for the tourists as well. They were welcome. She felt like a young child once again. She's never been in a festival, and the prospect to be in it was exciting to say the least. You seem awfully excited about something, Kushina. She jumped in shock. Don't sneak up on me like that, Naruto, she said, as she saw that he was her companion that she was traveling with. What felt like hours was just actual minutes that he was gone. As Naruto raised his eyebrows, he looked toward the town. It looked like the village is setting up for some sort of festival. He saw her sigh as she looked at it longingly. I was able to gather some information. It's a festival they celebrate annually every year. For their bountiful harvest they have. Every once a year. As Naruto has never really celebrated any of these before. But the people nowadays use it to take their mind off war. And have a good time. I see. Let's go find a place to stay then. I'm sure you're tired, he said. As Kushina's eyes went wide, a hopeful look coming on her face. Thank you, Naruto-kun, she said. She didn't care that she called his name with such familiarity, or that she threw herself and hugged him, for all that she was worth. In another time, if Naruto was ever touched his way, the reflex that he got from his father, training, and the years of war of instinct, he would have retaliated. However, this was not his time, and while war was still here, it wasn't half as bad as what it was in his time, nowhere close. As he hugged the redhead, as his tenant started to tease him, oh come off it now. Kushina is just excited to enjoy the festival. Besides, you've never had a decent rest or relaxation since I fought with you. So use this time to relax for a bit. And you better come to be comfortable with these kind of touches because I sense they will happen more in the future. As the entity chuckled, as Naruto's eyebrow twitched. And what exactly is that supposed to mean, Naruto asked back. His partner was grinning his face off. Oh, you will learn in time, he said. Just enjoy your time for now. Naruto would have scowled, but his partner cut the mental link. He placed his hand on Kushina's head as he ruffled her hair. Come on now, Kushina, he said. Let's go. As she then hold on to his hand. As he raised her eyebrow, but she started to pull him. Then let's go, she said. A few minutes later, they went into a inn, as the innkeeper waved him over with a smile. Oh hey, welcome to Mizu Inn. How may I help you? A middle-aged woman, long brown hair tied in a ponytail. Me and my companion here are looking for a room to stay in the next few days. Do you have anything available, Naruto asked. The woman glanced down towards her book, before she glanced up and glanced back down, as she released a nervous smile. My apologies, but all 4 rooms are taken besides one. We'll take it, said Naruto as he interrupted her. Kushina's eyes went wide. Her mind was stuck. They were gonna share a room. As her face became red, all the way up to her ears, as a chibi version of herself started to dance in her head, a victory dance. The innkeeper seemed to take it under consideration, but under his stern gaze, that did not break even once, and the girl seemed to be alright. Very well. The payment is about 300 Ryu a night, as Naruto dug his hand in his ropes. Very well, here's 3 days pay in advance as he placed it down. Now, if you will lead us to a room. She turned and picked up a key. Follow me, she said. I will also show you to the bathhouse and hot springs here. Kushina was nervous. She would be sleeping close to him. They would be in the same room. The man that had saved her life, trained her, protect her. She would be sleeping in the same room with him for 3 days. Her father and mother not there to watch her, nor her twin sister to be at her side. Naruto was here though, as she placed a hand over her heart, as she calmed her breathing. She hoped this 3-day rest would give her some quality time with the blonde. She knew so little about the man that saved her life, but the thought of him getting hurt or going away made her heart throb in pain, despite the front that she put up against Yoshina. She was worried She was afraid when he was fighting Moro. That is why she had hugged him with everything that she got when she saw that he was okay. The day had drained her as she had fell asleep. Look at me. I really am taken with him, aren't I, she said. But what chance do I have with Naruto-kun? I mean, I must look like a child in his eyes. He's done so much already. Lived in an era long before our time. Fought enemies that I could only dare to imagine. I'm only 14 years old for common sake, and he's technically over a century old. There must be some law against that. And yet her heart told her otherwise. She felt like a piece of herself was missing when he was not there. Why did her heart throb so much at the mere thought that he would one day leave her? And she also felt completely safe with him being there, like there was nothing that would ever happen to her. As she lowered her head, Naruto glanced behind him and saw her downcast expression, as he wondered what was troubling her. And here we are. This is your room. I hope you both have a pleasant stay, and please come to me or any one of the others if there's anything that you need. As she handed Naruto the key. An adequate room with a single bed to the left of the wall. Another room that led to the bathroom. And there was a sushi scream. As Kushina stepped inside, she looked towards the bed nervously. As Naruto noticed, "Take the bed." "I will take the floor," he said. She was about to protest, but he raised a hand. "I'll be fine. I have slept in much worse conditions than this. Try and get some rest, I'm sure. You want to wake up bright and early for the festivities." She nodded, as she started to unseal her things. Naruto walked over towards the sushi screen and slipped it open. Their room was on the top level. As he glanced downwards, as he took in the scenery and closed his eyes, for a moment afterwards, "I feel like things are about to become even more problematic to us. Wouldn't you agree, old friend?" "Agreed. I'm a bit worried about that Obey character knowing about your other name, and the possibility that comes with it. Not only that, also what that man is now planning now that he knows that you're back. It matters not that he knows that I'm back. I want him to know. I want him to know that I'm hunting him down. For him to be aware that the only being that can kill him is out there, tracking him down." Yes. But there is also an entire village now after Kushina. So getting her up to speed so that she can protect herself is a priority as well. True. As the blonde frowned at that. "You truly care for her, don't you?" Naruto said nothing. "Naruto, do you perhaps happen to..." Naruto cut him off. "Love is a weakness," he said. "The words of your father should mean nothing to what you feel. I've seen what kind of man you turn out to be. You were carved out of your teaching of your clan to never feel these kinds of emotions or these situations. You can't lie to me and you can't lie to yourself. So will you really avoid the chance to feel such a thing? We are far too apart in terms of age. I could be her ancestor as well, for all we know. We are two completely different people. She is still an innocent soul that has yet to see the world of what it holds. I, on the other hand, I am stained from head to toe in the blood of countless. My soul is stained and damaged beyond repair. There is no one for someone as tainted as me. I deserve to only be alone. If you truly believe that, then you're a bigger fool than I thought you are. Naruto, you know by now that you will never die by old age. It is something that is technically impossible for you. And you are still technically in your 20s because you only slept these years away. And you have to notice that you release your old persona when Moro tried to hurt her, and you went to protect her. That's something I never thought I would see you do. For anyone, even for your clan. She is important to you and you know it. Don't deny something as obvious as this. Is someone like me allowed to even love? That is a stupid question, not even the authority of Kami or the power of someone can stop that. Love is an experience that even mortals, angels, demons alike can all experience, even you. As Naruto glanced up, who would have thought that I would be getting this advice from you, of all people? As the voice chuckled, who would have thought I would be preaching these words to a devil like you? The world works in mysterious ways. That it does, old friend. That it does, said Naruto. As Naruto stood there for a while. Naruto? I'm back from the bathhouse. Are you gonna take one? Kushina said, shaking him from his thoughts. As he opened his eyes, the sun was setting. He was gone longer than he thought as he turned to see Kushina, folding her clothing, as she was dressed in a pair of kitsune themed pajamas, with a pair of kitsune ears on her head. As he looked towards her rather amused, as she noticed, "What? I like these pajamas. As she stomped her foot to the huff, Naruto closed the screen door. As he pat her on the head, messing up her with hair a bit. "It suits you well, Kitsune-san," he said. Kushina paused in shock as she watched him walk away. Did he just tease her? What the hell just happened as she slipped into bed? It was a bit later Naruto came out, in a black kimono, with his own clothing folded in his hand as he placed it aside, for the innkeeper to take and watch in the morning, as he had his katana in his other hand as well. As he saw Kushina fast asleep, as he looked towards her, watching her sleep in form until her vision and her visions disappear, to show a battlefield with countless enemies. They were slaughtered. Standing above all of them was a gigantic beast with 10 massive tails waving, red eyes with 9 tomos. Standing in front of said beast was a man. His body was engulfed in azure fire. 2 horns stick from his forehead. As he looked directly into the beast's eyes, his blade clutched firmly in his hand. The beast roared and shook the entire place, but the man did not blink or look away as he looked defiantly in the beast's eyes. Naruto blinked and shook his head, ridding himself of that vision. Naruto sat down to her bedside. He propped his blade at his shoulder, to have a true sleep that he hasn't had in so long. It felt like that. Same time at Konoha, Obe could be seen coming out of the wall as he was in the home district. As he walked to a certain part of his home, it was there that he instantly bowed to his knees and bowed his head. "I have returned, Shishao," he said. "Ah, good. Raise your head and tell me how it went." A voice, that sound age, said as he was the one in front of Obe. There was a long black carpet that came from Obe to the back of the room, as there was a statue of the deity of death, the Shinigami. A number of candles on each side of the black cloth, with a strange flower right at the back. A single old man, dressed in a white and black clothing that looked like a robe, but at the same time a kimono, a fighting one it seems. But it didn't seem like it was used for that after all. He looked rather old, but sometimes the eyes could be deceiving. Long grey hair that fell to his mid-back. His eyebrows were long as well. A long beard fell to the floor with length, with a number of red bangs wrapped around the beard itself. He looked incredibly old. His eyes, they looked like they were squinting. It was because of age, and the wrinkles all over his face. "The man, Oda Naruto, is far more dangerous than you told me. You were right, I would only know how truly lethal he was if I met him face to face. There's a difference between telling me and me meeting the real thing. I truly thought I was gonna die, however, he's far more perceptive than you thought he would be. He saw right through me, and at least he knew something about me was abnormal." The old man hummed as he turned towards Obe's direction. "I see. So he's still the man I once knew. It's good to know that time hasn't altered his personality, at the very least. Still, I don't know the changes that happened to him during his slumber, so those are beyond my expectations. Regardless of this, it seems I need to speed up my plans in light of this new development. From what I could gather, Shishao, he killed the demon Moro, and I suspect that he gathered the artifact that was in the tomb. I had to admit I was in awe, and the battle between the two, never once I thought I would see a battle like that in my life." The old man simply chuckled in response. "I expected that much. That damn Kitsuke was too intelligent and cunning, like a fox, to hide the relic anywhere else, and the seals and barriers he put up made it impossible for myself to break through. The only one could be the one to break through was the heir of the Oda clan, meaning Naruto himself. As for the battle, well, my young student, it was a common thing in our days, and with his return I expect them to be common once again. He always had that presence that could throw the entire world into chaos, much like his father. While Obe knew little about his Shishao past, he knew of the man of legend, the clan head of the Oda clan, father of Naruto. He was a man that set of a resolve that can shake the very heavens and bring down the depth to hell, the power of kings and legends at his very call. Truly, Obe did not know who was dangerous, Naruto or his father. Shishao, I do have some interesting information you might like to hear. And what would that be? I believe that Naruto has acquired himself a young apprentice. Her name is Kushina Uzumaki. She's a Jinjulki of the Kyuubi. The man eyebrow raised. Is that right? He said. Please, continue. I would like to know more about her. But guys, be insubscribed right here. If you want to see next part and do, like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification as they posted. Remember, share to all of your friends in social media platform. But I'm over now. See you guys soon. Peace.